Welcome to Mombasa on Kenya's Indian Ocean coast, and today I'm taking a train.
Today I'm taking a ride on the Madaraka Express, a slightly nicer name than the train's former name, the Lunatic Express, from here in Mombasa across to Nairobi. First step was to try and collect my ticket. Booking my tickets for this trip had been pretty awkward. You see, you can only book online using something called M-Pesa, which is an online payment solution that they use in Kenya that you can't access unless you've got a Kenyan mobile phone. I had to book using a travel agent in Mombasa who ordered the tickets and sent me the collection codes via email. Once I'd collected my tickets, I headed to get some food, which wasn't quite the fish and chips that I expected.
Okay, when I ordered fish and chips, I didn't expect this. Flies everywhere as well. I think I'm going to leave the rest. I wasn't that hungry anyway. So security here is intense, and just to get into the building you've got to go through about 3 different checkpoints. My train doesn't leave for a while yet. I've got about another sort of half an hour until I can actually enter with a ticket with my bag. In the meantime, every time I go in I have to leave my bag out here and I have to leave my passport and everything this side, and then go through and then come back out and collect them on the way out. So I've come back outside for a little bit to sit in the sun before we get on the train over to Nairobi.
Aside from the hassle getting in and out of the building, security was absolutely insane here. Everyone has to put their belongings in their bags while police dogs walk up and down checking every single bag. Of course I couldn't film that process as my phone had to go in my bag along with all of my other belongings. Finally though, we could enter the building a couple of hours before departure, of course, ensuring our hands were clean first.
Very much, thank you. Thanks. So the train I'm taking today is called the Madaraka Express, and it connects the 2 largest cities in Kenya, here in Mombasa and the capital city, Nairobi, which is where we're heading now. They've built this massive infrastructure for it, and there's like 1 train a day.
After a couple of hours, the train rolled in from Nairobi and I headed through to get on board for the return leg. Here there's a statue of a 15th century Chinese explorer called Zheng He in the station, something that hasn't necessarily gone down too well with a lot of Kenyans. The Madaraka Express is also known as the SGR, the standard gauge railway, to differentiate itself from the narrow gauge of the old Lunatic Express. Today I was riding in first class, so I climbed aboard for my 5-hour journey across Kenya.
Right, on board for the 5-hour journey back to Nairobi, first class.
Yeah, I just said that. Pretty soon we were pulling out of the station in Mombasa and starting our journey over to Nairobi.
Now, the Madaraka Express follows the route of what was called the old Uganda line, which connected Mombasa on the coast with the country of Uganda in the centre of Africa at the other side of the country. Now, that line quickly became known during its construction as the Lunatic Express, and the reason for that was because surely only a lunatic would attempt to build a railway line across the inhospitable terrain of southern Kenya. It was tough going as well. During the course of building this railway line, 3,500 men lost their lives. It's an incredible death toll for such a short railway of just a few hundred miles, and the majority of those were through things like lion attacks and malaria from different insects and different diseases that they were getting here. It really was an incredible achievement when they had actually managed to finish building it. Over the years, of course, the Uganda Railway fell into more and more disrepair, and by 2016 it would take 24 hours to cover the 350 miles between Mombasa and Nairobi, a journey that today we're doing in about 4.5. At that time, in stepped the Chinese and rebuilt this railway line from scratch as a high-speed railway line called the Madaraka Express. Now we can reach blistering speeds of 75 miles an hour. We can now get from Mombasa to Nairobi in a time of just 5 hours, which is pretty good going really, and it's pretty comfy too.
From Mombasa, the train winds its way west across the Tsavo National Park, one of the largest national parks in the world. It's home to all sorts of wildlife, and I was lucky enough to have a window seat to savour every moment of this safari on rails.
You see, here is the incredible thing about Africa and why I love it so much. We're only an hour out of Mombasa on a 5-hour journey, and already we've passed through some of the most remote places I've ever seen. We've been through remote little villages, we've seen tribes people out there, we've seen elephants and impala just roaming around at the side of the tracks, and we're an hour out of Mombasa. We've got 4 left to go. And some of the more remote parts of Kenya are still yet to come on this journey. It's just incredible. I just love this part of the world. Now, one thing that has amazed me while I've been here and travelling through the middle of nowhere is that I've managed to keep a full 4G phone signal the whole way across, even in the most remote of areas here in Kenya. And a big part of the reason for that is because Google actually operate a load of kind of balloons up in the sky. It's called Google Loon. If you look up on flight radar, you'll see about 20 or 30 of them overhead. Kenya at about 60,000 feet, just floating there. And they provide a 4G signal to these really remote areas so that you're never without a phone signal, even in places like this. It's pretty cool, really, and how it's interesting how they're keeping the world connected through new technology and things up in the sky. Pretty good.
And speaking of remaining connected in the most remote parts of the world, I'd like to say a big thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring this video. By now, I don't think I need to tell you how much a VPN product helps to protect your data when you travel in the world, connecting to public Wi-Fi in the most remote regions. Using a VPN also lets you catch up on entertainment from your home country wherever you are in the world. For me, it's great to be able to watch Netflix shows from home while I'm in Asia,
I am never going to financially recover from this.
or watch live TV from the UK while I'm sitting in an airport in Canada. With Surfshark, you can browse the web just like you sat in your living room. There's also countries out there that censor your internet access or even block websites such as Facebook. But with Surfshark, you just click on the connect button and you're online unrestricted. Some public Wi-Fi stops you from accessing streaming services such as YouTube and Netflix unless you pay a higher price for access, but with Surfshark your session is completely encrypted, so you can sit and watch your favourite YouTubers even on the cheapest packages. Surfshark are offering you a cool 85% discount and 3 extra months for free when you use the link below with promo code Noel Phillips. Being only a few hours long, the Madaraka Express doesn't have sleeping carriages and it's just split between first class and standard class. The carriages are all fairly new and shiny, and they're all air conditioned too. Cruising across the heart of Africa with the sun setting over the savannah, there was only one song that suited the moment absolutely perfectly. And it was absolutely perfect. As the sun disappeared, it seemed that probably my sanity went with it too.
Not long to go now. Half an hour.
Yeah, I've absolutely no idea what I was thinking there, but never mind, we were soon arriving into the bright lights of Nairobi. The Madaraka Express has cost over $4 billion, making it the most expensive infrastructure project since Kenya's independence in 1963, and 1/5 of its national budget. Most of this is in the form of a loan from China, and with the inevitable allegations of corruption as well as an increasing debt to China, some Kenyans have already started to call the new SGR the second Lunatic Express. For me though, the Madaraka Express is an incredible ride through some of the most beautiful scenery in the world. After all, where else can you get such an intimate glimpse of the real Africa in 5 hours and for less than $100? If that makes me a lunatic, well, so be it. Hello. Is the bar still open?
Yes, it's still open, but they're closing. So
Closing soon. Time for a quick one, yeah? I'll be fast, thank you. Time for one before you close.
Yeah, we are doing our last one.
Be fast, yeah. It won't take me long, don't worry.
You know, every day that I'm here in Africa, I come back to the Aero Club and I tell myself it's the best day that I've had in Africa. And every day it just gets even better because it's just such an incredible place. Every day I've been here so far has been better than the last, and it just leaves me feeling sort of quite amazed because I've got a few more days here yet, and it just keeps getting better every day. Africa is such a wonderful place. For me, the scenery, the terrain, the views that you get everywhere, just incredible. The wildlife, just so abundant and everywhere. It's just incredible to be able to see it, even on a train like we were today. And the people, of course, the most warm, loving people I've ever met, I think, anywhere in the world. And that's no exaggeration. People here are just incredible. And you know what? I love it here. I love Africa. Got loads more to come. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of the videos I've got coming over the next sort of few weeks here in Africa. But in the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.